Thank you, Mr. Miralles, for choosing to work with our bank and giving us the opportunity to consult on your money. Would you like to step inside so we can take a look at the numbers? Sure. Mr. Miralles, please take a seat. So how may I help you?
Okay, so my issue is that recently my grandmother died and I've inherited $10,000. And I want your opinion on whether if I should take it now or store it in my bank account until a future date.
Well, Mr. Miralles, it's very unfortunate to hear that a family member of yours passed away. Let us take a look at your account. So it seems you have the sum of 10,000 euros in the account. Well, interest rates are very low at the moment, so in my professional experience I would always advise you to accept the sum of money at the present time rather than leaving it in your deceased family member's bank account. Have you ever heard of the term present value?
No.
Well, it's a very interesting term that's very relevant to your case, so I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that. It's the idea that money is attached to a value, and the value attached to this money in the current period will always be equal to either less or the same amount as the money that you've just received. Now this is bad because every dollar has potential profit yielding or interest yielding return, and this can be extracted from your liquidity through various profit yielding investments into property, stocks, or even into commodities. And so I would definitely see it as the relevant choice for you to make to take this money out now and invest it perhaps in a future security that will yield a higher return than if you were to leave it in your grandmother's bank account, which only gives you a return rate of 1.5%. My advice to you would be property. Property at the moment is performing at about 8 to 9% per year yield, and so the same amount of money that you have today sitting in a bank account won't grow if you were to leave it there. However, if you were to place it in property, preferably through us, you would definitely be able to get a much better return on the value of your dollar in the long term.
The present value is the amount of money that would need to invest today to generate fixed payment over a period of time. Meanwhile, future value is the money generated by making consistent investment over a period of time, taking into account several economical parameters such as inflation rate and also interest rate. These two values, present value and future value, can be represented in one formula, which is the future value formula, being A, the present value, B, interest rate, I, inflation rate, and finally T, numbers of years. In the first scenario, if we assume that Alfonso lives in a country with an inflation rate of 2% and with an interest rate of 1.5% and having as a present value $10,000, we see that in 5 years the $10,000 becomes $9,760, so we can conclude that if the inflation rate is greater than the interest rate, it's not a good idea to leave the money in the bank.
Meanwhile, in the second scenario, assuming that we have a 2% inflation rate and a 7% interest rate, investing in properties and commodities, having a present value of $10,000, during the time of 5 years, we will end up earning $12,703.34. So we can conclude that having an interest rate higher than the inflation rate, we will earn money compared to the first scenario.